kapatid yun, anuhin mo. Layo mo ng konti, maluran naman ng ano niya.
Yan.
Hindi kita.
Ganon?
Yeah. May ganit.
Hawakan ko nila.
Hawakan mo na lang para
Ano nga? Yan.
4:15 ba umalis? Ano oras na?
Bitaw.
5.
Magalaw na tayo.
Bye! Kakaway eh! Kakaway eh! Kakaway eh!
Kumaway din tayo dati.
Pag naman yung hindi ka kakaway eh, sabi wala pumapansin sa kanila. Naman pwede dun eh, kasi sa harapan, meron mga tao dun sa harapan. Kaya walang bubong, ang lamig dun.
Pwede pa babae.
Pwede. Like whatever we want. Yeah.
All right, everybody. Once again, welcome
Mare,
to
tanong mo
Boca
paano
Martins.
pagbayad?
So my name's Kelsey, and I'm the primary captain, but Carmen's up here at the wheel. She's learning how to captain on her own. So if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to come and chat with us. Our door is open, and we're happy to have guests up here. I spend a fair amount of time on the microphone, so if you have any questions that I need to answer, then I'll be able to help you out as soon as I'm done talking. But Carmen here is happy to have guests throughout the whole cruise, so please do feel free to come on up. The washrooms are located downstairs inside, and please feel free to move around. You don't have to stay in the same seats the entire time. Each area of the boat has different pros and different cons, so feel free to look and check them all out. So we're going to be out here till around 5:15, 5:20 p.m. somewhere right in
Hindi
there.
ba pinakulada?
Just under an hour.
May
And throughout the cruise, I'll be on the mic. I'll talk about some of the things that we're going to cruise by and different places that you can go and visit throughout Riding Mountain National Park and some history and things like that. And again, if you have any questions, please do feel free to come and chat. So the town of Wasagaming is a pretty cool little place. I'm sure many of you have been here before. A lot of people that come here tend to come back, and a lot of families have been coming to Clear Lake generation after generation and decade after decade. It's a pretty special little place to a lot of families, and there's a lot of activities to do, especially in the summertime. There's fun for all ages, and sometimes you don't have to do anything at all, especially on a nice summer day. You can just hang out on the beach and chill out in the sunshine. There's been a town along the shoreline of Clear Lake for just under 100 years now. The town of Wasagaming was built during the Great Depression of the 1930s. So Western Canada is, in terms of towns and cities, is fairly new on the development spectrum. But of course, First Nations people have been in this region, in this country that we call Canada, for many thousands of years. And Riding Mountain National Park is made up of First Nations and First Nation land that was part of Treaties 1, 2, and 4. And nowadays, the Kisikoin and Ojibwe have a tract of reserve land around the northwest part of Clear Lake that was originally agreed to in Treaty Number 2. That was signed in 1873. But when Riding Mountain became a national park, it was set aside as a national park in 1933. The Kisikoin and Ojibwe were essentially booted off of that land and relocated to another reserve south of this new national park. And it's not the proudest moment of this area's history, and it's a story that's common across many of the national parks in Western Canada. In the making of these designated areas, a lot of First Nations were relocated from land that was originally agreed to further on. Nowadays, the Kisikoin are involved in the management decisions. Not just the Kisikoin, but there's a coalition of 7 First Nations, and the Kisikoin are kind of at the forefront of that coalition. But they all help to manage and make decisions for Riding Mountain National Park through consultation and First Nation processes. And the Anishinaabe Sharing Lodge is downtown. It's the First Nations Interpretive Center. So if you're interested in First Nations culture and history, that would be the best place to go and learn firsthand about the Kisikoin and other Anishinaabe in the Riding Mountain region. So, as mentioned, this park was established in 1933. That Anishinaabe Sharing Lodge, it's actually the old fire hall, so it's a pretty neat historical building that was constructed during the Great Depression by men that were known as relief workers. So relief workers were guys that would have been unemployed during the Great Depression. And the Great Depression was a really tough time for people all across the world. There was a lot of unemployment and there was a lot of poverty. So the Canadian government set up work camps throughout the nation. And kind of like what happened through the pandemic, the federal government came up with some grants to try to get some money back in people's pockets that were going through a hard time. And during the Great Depression, the Canadian government set up these work camps. And they were all throughout the country. One of them was along the shorelines of Clear Lake, in what was soon to be the town of Wasaga. So as you're walking around in Wasaga, you'll notice a bunch of big log buildings. As you go inside of it, they'll have big stone fireplaces in them. Pretty much all these old log buildings were built during the Great Depression, so almost 100 years ago now, by women workers.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
There's about 1,500 men in that old camp who built most of this town that we still get to see from the very today. So buildings downtown that were constructed during this time frame include the Visitor Center, which is the Parks Museum. It's the best place to go to learn about all things Rocky Mountain. And then right across the road from the museum is a restaurant called 1929. And a bit farther down the road is the Park Theater. The Park Theater is the largest log theater in North America. It's one of the largest log theaters in the whole world. Obviously, it's not quite up to snuff with the newest technologies that you'd find in the modern movie theaters, but it is very, very unique and really spectacular place to go watch a movie. And just next to it is Dance Land. It's a huge hall made out of log, where there's popular spots for weddings and show shows throughout the summertime. And look at the cruise by the golf course. The tennis court building, and so many other buildings in and around Rocky Mountain. Were helped by those relief workers during the Great Depression. In northern Saskatchewan, there's a national park called Prince Albert, and Prince Albert National Park has a town called Waskesiu, which is not a mirror image of Wasaga, but there's a lot of similarities between the two concepts, and that's because Waskesiu was also built during the 1930s with a relief work camp set up there as well.